Resident Evil is debatably one of the biggest video game franchises ever. It stunned audiences when first released in March of 1996. You probably played the game then and became a fan ever since. You probably wasn't even born like myself and played a later entry in the series. Well, I'm going to tell you how it impacted my childhood and my whole view of video games. This is how Resident Evil changed my life. To make any kind of sense of it, we're going to have to go back to the year 2005. How do you like that for a Max Payne reference? Tempex Gryffindor! Yeah, okay, I'll stop. Anyway, a friend borrowed me a DVD copy of the recently released Resident Evil Apocalypse, which is a sequel to the 2002 live-action Resident Evil movie. At this point in my childhood, I was well into horror movies and was already introduced to big ones like the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, Chucky, Jason, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Dracula, Halloween, you name it. Although the 1990 Tom Savini remake of The Night of the Living Dead was the first to introduce me to zombies in general. But when I first saw Resident Evil Apocalypse, it just blew my 8-year-old mind away. The action was fast-paced, the zombies were scary but in a cool-looking way. Nemesis was just awesome, fuck yeah! And I took a strong liking to the character Alice. To top it all off with some zombie dogs, and it satisfied my cravings for on-screen violence. It's ironic that the live-action movies, which by most Resident Evil fans, including myself, despise of, yet my gratitude goes towards them for introducing me to the franchise, albeit in name only. Butchered name only, maybe. I remember seeing Resident Evil 4 for the first time. What struck me was the cover. You got to remember, I had no internet at the time. I would come to my own conclusions by seeing movies or looking at box arts. I remember feeling uncomfortable looking at the Resident Evil 4 cover. But I was somewhat intrigued. The woods, El Salvador on the cover, which reminded me a lot of Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. But what scared me the most was on the back of the cover. Any 8-year-old boy's worst nightmare. A €60 price tag. Well, shit, no way am I getting that. Santa was months away, Rudolph had broken down, but it was not all doom and gloom. No sirree. A few weeks later, I found Resident Evil Outbreak and Resident Evil 4 in a used game store. My dad was nice enough to let me choose one of the two. I went for Outbreak. And so it began, my first Resident Evil experience. Got home, powered up the old PS2, and I remember vividly how my mind reacted. I pressed start.
Resident Evil.
Then new game.
Outbreak.
Oh, you choose your character. Okay. Wait, where's Alice? The girl in the red suit? Is that Alice? Yeah, must be. The opening cinematic amazed me. I was creeped out by the zombies at first, but after taking control of my character for the first time, my initial reaction was, where do I go? How do I attack? The graphics look so realistic, but moving around is so stiff. To sum it up, Resident Evil Outbreak wasn't a great experience.
Help me!
The game was just too hard for me, and the Resident Evil movies corrupted my mind, and well, I couldn't get past the second level. I still wanted to give the Resident Evil games a chance, however. A few months later, and I got Resident Evil 4. I got Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4.
Oh yeah! First time playing, got to the village, was a little scared, especially after this potentially traumatic experience. But after a solid 3-day session, I completed a game to which this day remains one of the best video games I have ever played. Resident Evil 4 pulled me into the story. I felt deeply involved in the story. It was such a huge game. My goal here is to do a series of reviews of every main game in the series. Join me in the next part as I review where it all started. Thanks for watching, and until next time.